Can we build a Necromancy Wizard from D&D in Elden Ring? Absolutely. But is it any good? Check this out. Hello everyone, I am Slightly.Lost and welcome back to a series where I attempt to recreate D&D subclasses using Elden Ring's mechanics as respectfully as possible. So if you've never played D&D before, wizards are the epitome of spellcasters, constantly studying all the schools of magic to expand their knowledge and be able to cast more spells. The school of necromancy in particular deals with resurrecting the dead under your command, being able to heal yourself while casting necromancy spells, and improving the quality of your spells while targeting the dead, piles of bones and sinew, or anything otherwise not counted among the living. All of which is exactly what we intend to do and try to recreate today. Without further ado, let's get into the build. To start off, we'll be selecting the Astrologer starting class. Even though we are going to want some faith for a handful of spells, this is going to give us the highest intelligence stat, which we are going to want more of that in the end. At level 50, you'll want 21 Vigor, 20 Mind, 20 Endurance, 10 Strength, 25 Intelligence, and 12 Faith. This gives us an even spread for survivability and damage, and we hit the strength we need for our desired shield, and won't be placing any more levels there. At level 100, you'll need 34 Vigor, 20 Mind, 35 Endurance, 36 Intelligence, and 23 Faith. Not only have we hit our desired Endurance level, but now we're really starting to have access to some better spells and damage numbers. At level 150, you'll have 50 Vigor, 30 Mind, 20 Dexterity, 44 Intelligence, and 31 Faith. We can now cast all of our desired spells, but we're certainly not done with our mental stats. Finally, at level 200, your stats will be 55 Vigor, 35 Mind, 35 Endurance, the 10 Strength we needed, 30 Dexterity, 60 Intelligence, and 45 Faith. More of the same, just to increase our survivability and our damage numbers. In terms of equipment, once again, we're casting both sorceries and incantations, so we're going to want the Staff of the Great Beyond. It makes our life so much easier rather than trying to swap catalysts and swapping spells in the middle of combat. We'll be using the Erd Steel Dagger with the Cold Affinity and the Chilling Mist Ash of War to give us a melee weapon that has decent scaling in Dexterity and Faith, and Intelligence thanks to the Affinity. As a way to defend ourselves, we'll be including the Black Leather Shield. Guard boosts aren't something we intend to really take advantage of, this is just here to block a little bit of damage. Speaking of spells, our primary spell that inspired this build is Tibia Summons, and since it requires both Intelligence and Faith, we also have a few Golden Order spells that fit the theme too. Litany of Proper Death and Law of Causality, along with Glintstone Nail and Glintstone Nails as additional damaging sorceries. Tangentially related to spells and a unique feature of this build, our Spirit Summons! That's right, this build mostly focuses on improving the quality of our Spirit Summons while we deal damage from the backline. We wouldn't be a Necromancer if we didn't summon the souls of the undead. To keep with the theme, I'd pick one of the following: Skeletal Militiamen, Skeletal Bandit, the Grave Bird from the DLC, or the Mausoleum Soldier Ashes. The latter summons the most bodies and can even distribute aggro pretty well, but while fighting field bosses, they do like to run off in random directions. They don't have heads. They get lost very easily. Our talismans will be the Graven Mass Talisman to improve the power of our sorceries, the Dried Bouquet to raise our attack power whenever one of our spirit summons dies. This pairs especially well with the militiamen or the skeletal bandit, because if they are killed, but not permanently killed, as in taking a hit after deassembling, they can resurrect, get back up, but we still get the attack bonus. Taker's Cameo to give us HP back whenever an enemy dies, and as a nearly direct copy of the Grim Harvest ability from the source material, and the Ancestral Spirit Horn to do the same, except it restores FP instead of HP. Finding armor that still met the 51 poise threshold while still having that Necromancer vibe was kinda tough, but I settled on the Wise Man's Mask, Fia's Robes, and the Gauntlets and Greaves of Solitude. This gives us a total of 52 poise. In our Wondrous Physic, We have the Magic Shroud in Crack tier to boost our own magic damage, and the Glovewort Crystal tier to increase the attack power of our spirit summons. They're just little guys. They need all the help they can get. For our Great Rune, we'll be using Godric's Great Rune, which gives us 5 points in every stat. Anytime I create a spellcaster that cares about multiple mental stats, I find that leveling up to 5 points under the desired stat allows me to spread my levels around a bit better, and then Godric's Great Rune comes in and gets us to where we want to be. I will never plan on having a Great Rune active though, since rune arcs are a pain to farm, so all of our base stats before the Great Rune is active are still enough to be able to wield everything and cast everything we have. With all that number crunching out of the way, let's see how it plays.
A man cannot kill a god.
And that is how you build a Necromancy Wizard from D&D in Elden Ring. Did you like what you saw? What would you change to make this even more accurate to the source material? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye, adios, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. And if I don't see you tomorrow, have a wonderful day.